All right. Good morning, guys. Morning, morning. Everything look all right on your guys' end? YouTube is YouTube is telling me that it's not receiving enough video to maintain a smooth streaming experience. But it looks okay, I think. So, today, June 14th, Tuesday. Good morning, good morning. What's up, Greg? How are you? So, it looks like a pretty relatively quiet pre-market. Looking fresh to death. Appreciate that. Appreciate that. So relatively quiet pre-market. We're getting a pretty key rejection that we are looking at, guys, and that's the 11.5 level on the NASDAQ. So that's why you see in the title, right, new resistance point. It is 11.5. 11.5 is the previous May low. And what did we do yesterday at 11.5, right? This is very key to focus on today. We turned the May lows into resistance. So what does that tell you, right? What is previous support, pretty major support, a May low, a low that we held off of in mid-May? What does it tell you when you see that that level is now turning into a level we can't break above? So that right there should give you some insight into what you could expect today. Of course, that could change, right? Of course, that could change today. It could also very well change tomorrow. If it's ever going to change, it probably will change tomorrow because of FOMC, right? So that's going to be a totally that's all macroeconomic driven. That's no technicals really. That's going to be a very heavy event and could could definitely invalidate some of the technicals we're looking at. But that is the level to watch out for today, right? The 11.5 level. And we'll talk all about that as we go on with the stream. We'll talk about, obviously, our futures and some individual names, prepare ourselves for the day as usual. So, welcome once again. Happy you guys are here to prepare your morning. Let's go ahead and get started. Let me just pull up everything here for us, and then we'll go ahead and get started here. So first thing is first, let's get up in the economic calendar. All right. So today, futures, obviously, economic earnings calendar, as always. We're going to take a look at the /ZQ, the Fed Fund futures for next month. And I want to show you guys what the Fed Funds futures are now pricing in. It's a little bit more aggressive than we originally thought. There was some news dropping yesterday that a triple rate hike is very possible tomorrow, and that could be what the market is now trying to price in. That could be why we saw part of the reason why we saw a 5% downside move yesterday on the NASDAQ. The market is probably trying to get ahead of a possible triple rate hike. That is definitely something that I think is starting to work in. So we have to watch out for that. Tesla more downside. I think Tesla needs to move lower. I think it needs to test the May lows. I'll talk to you why I believe that. Amazon is holding a pretty big level here. Amazon's sitting at a 2018, 2019 level, and it really did hold on pretty well yesterday. It definitely outperformed slightly at that level. So I will show you guys the level that's in focus here. Costco. I'm liking this hourly breakdown on Costco. I want to show you guys that. This could be a play. Apple. So Apple, you guys know Apple is a huge part of the market. It's almost like the heartbeat of the market in some sense. And Apple is trying its very best to hold on to this 132.50 level. It is very crucial, in my opinion, that it does hold on. I would sort of watch this as a overall, almost as a, I don't want to call it, an index, but it almost is it's a very big part of what happens today. Does Apple hold this level or does it give up? I think this is something you should be watching. Roku. I always like to look at Roku because Roku sometimes gives some very nice trading opportunities. It's a pretty good stock to trade options on if you catch it right. So Roku, $75 resistance. I want to show you guys this level. Nvidia is at a major demand today at 155. And then energy. Is this our opportunity for energy? As we get this pullback, we are getting a pretty aggressive pullback on energy. We've talked about it multiple times. Wait for it to pull back to the 20, to the 50 SMA, and you're getting it now. So now you start to look at, okay, where is my opportunity here? And I want to sort of keep an eye on this energy opportunity and share it with you guys today. After that, we'll go over your tickers and we'll wrap this stream up. So first off, economic calendar, guys. That's obviously the big one. That's what everyone's waiting on here. Tomorrow, we got FOMC tomorrow. Here we go. So yesterday we got some inflation expectations. They were higher than expected, right? So you can see the previous was 6.3, 6.6 was actual, and then the 3-year was about flat, which is understandable. They're probably expecting 3 years out to probably be, sort of what they already expected. I don't think that 3 years out they should probably have much of a change. So the 1 year changed because I could, shorter term, 3-year about flat with what was previously expected. Today, I don't really think any of this will have much influence. Producer price index could be a little bit market moving. That definitely could be interesting to keep an eye out for, right? This is what producers are paying for products instead of consumer price index. That's what a consumer like me and you are paying for, right? That is up, right? Because we are experiencing inflation as consumers. Producer price index is what they are paying, and that's obviously going to be up too. So this should be interesting. We'll see if there's any move off this. It was previously 0.5. The forecast is for it to be 0.8. We will see what it comes in at today at 8:30. We'll see if there's any movement off on the market because of it. Wednesday, tomorrow, we have retail sales in the morning, which are pretty important. We will see how retail sales do. And then this is the big one. 2 o'clock, we have the FOMC statement. And then 2:30, we have the news conference. We will most likely get we're going to get a rate hike tomorrow. It depends on what the rate hike is going to be. Is it 0.5 or is it 0.75? Is it a double rate hike or is it a triple rate hike? That's going to be the interesting part tomorrow, guys. So, yeah, I'm not going to try to guess what happens. I could definitely see a situation where they go triple rate hike. It almost seems like they need to. Or they go a little bit less aggressive and they do the double as planned, right? The double is sort of as planned. We know the doubles are going to be coming. Do they upgrade to a triple? This Fed Fund Futures is pricing in the potential of a triple. And we saw I saw some news yesterday of the triple. So market may be trying to price in the triple so that if it doesn't come, maybe there's a little bit of a less harsh reaction. That could be what the market's trying to do. I think maybe they're trying to expect for the worst, which is the triple. And then maybe if the double comes in, it could be a little bit of I don't want to say bullish because nothing about this market is bullish, but maybe it's a little bit of a relief, right? Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. Mortgage rates are crazy, Greg. My God, man. Mortgage, I think the 30-year is sitting there at like 6.5 now, 6.25, right around there. Crazy. Just absolutely wild. I locked in a 2.9. When was that? It was almost, it is a pretty long time ago now. Almost 3 years ago is when I locked in a 2.9. But it is crazy to see how, over almost a year and a half, 2 years, that the 30-year mortgage rates have increased, have doubled. And real estate's a whole nother story. And I love to talk some real estate because I do like real estate a lot. And I'm actually pretty knowledgeable about real estate. I've tried to learn as much as I can. But it's a tough time, man. It is a tough time for people, especially my age. 25 to 20, maybe 25 to 30, trying to buy their first house. Luckily, I, by the grace of God, got very lucky and bought a house 3 years ago before the big C. So I got I got very lucky. I bought a really cheap house at a very low interest rate. And, I look at my friends now, and, some of my friends are trying to buy their first homes. And, I mean, they're looking at nothing cheaper than 5 to 600,000 with a 6% interest rate. That is just terrible. I mean, that is very difficult for new people to purchase real estate right now, and it's an interesting time, and that is why, on the flip side, that is why rents are so high, because everyone has to rent. Everyone has to rent because they can't afford a mortgage right now. I mean, you almost need a minimum if you want to do it right. If you want to get a conventional mortgage, you want to put 20% down, not pay PMI. I mean, you're no less than 100,000 cash, right? You need 100,000 cash to buy your first house. That's not easy, right? So it's an interesting time in the real estate market real estate market too. So, but let's continue. I agree, Greg. I don't think we're going to see a crash, but it will absolutely slow down. Obviously, buyers are going to slow. It's already happening. So, all right. So that's that. A little bit of real estate talk, a little bit of economic calendar, earnings calendar. We think we had Oracle yesterday. I really don't care about the earnings calendar this week, guys, to be quite honest. I don't think it makes any difference. You had Oracle yesterday. They did pretty well. You have Adobe coming out on Thursday afternoon. That's really it. Yeah. So let's skip right to the Fed funds futures. So here we go. We're going to look at the /ZQ for July. And I'm going to show you guys something. And this is interesting, right? So this is something that you guys should probably monitor once in a while, especially around FOMC statements. So the Fed funds futures is right now trading at 98.35, right? And let me go ahead and pull up the current Fed funds rate, which is it's floating around 0.8. That's like the current, let me go ahead and pull that up for you guys. I think I have a chart for you that I can pull up. One second. All right, so here is the effective Fed funds rate. Obviously, you guys know the target right now is 0.75 to 1, right? That's the target. Here's the current Fed funds rate. As of June 10th, it's a 0.83. That's the effective federal funds rate, 0.83. So that's about in target with what they want to have right now. The target right now is 0.75 to 1%. So we're at 0.83. Now, the Fed funds futures for July is at 98.35, 98.33. Now, if you do 100 and you minus the Fed funds futures, which is 98.35, you get 1.65. Now, to get to 1.65 next month from where we are right now, which is 0.83, you need to pretty much double the current Fed funds rate, which is just about 0.82. The only way to get to 0.82 by next month is probably a triple rate hike. So, if the market is correct by pricing in a federal funds rate of 1.6 next month, then you need a triple rate hike to get there. So this is why I believe, which I'm basing this off of real data and real analysis, not just guessing. I believe the market, looking at the Fed funds futures, is pricing in a triple rate hike. And I believe that is why you saw that aggressive move to the downside yesterday. Because look at what the federal funds rate futures did yesterday as well. It dropped. When it drops, it prices in a higher interest rate. So you dropped aggressively, right? And that is the market pricing in that federal funds rate futures, federal funds rate increase. So with that said, I am in the understanding that right now the market is pricing in 0.75. Just looking at the federal funds rate futures, right? You guys can make whatever argument you want. I am just basing my decision off of this chart right here. So very interesting. Very interesting. So that is something that we need to watch. So just wanted to give you guys an idea of what happened yesterday on the /ZQ and what the market is potentially pricing in. You will keep paying if you stay in this market. I'm not paying anything. I'm making money. So very nice. Slash DQ, very nice. 0.75, probably what is going to be expected. Tesla. Let's continue. Vape King. Great name. So, Tesla. Here we go. I think Tesla needs to move down to 618. That is my opinion. I think Tesla needs to retest the May lows. That is my understanding right now. That's what I believe right now. Obviously, tomorrow could change that if the market goes up tomorrow, which I don't know why it would, but if it does, first of all, I'm not going to trust it. Second of all, Tesla won't go to 618 because it's going to obviously move up with the market. But what I am watching today on Tesla, if I go to the 5-minute, Mervin, the reason this has changed is because of CPI numbers, right? This did not change. This was, if CPI numbers were as expected and not worse, I think we would have not seen the sudden increase in the. I forgot to do the futures analysis. Sorry, guys. I'll do that now. I don't think we would have seen the increase in the federal funds rate futures if it wasn't for CPI data, right? So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and look at the futures. Let's do it. So, 1 hour. I think this is probably the best for us to look at it on. Here we go. So, what is 11.5 doing? What is 11.5 doing right now? You guys can see it right here. 11.5, 11.5. And where does this number date back to? This is the May low. This is the low of May before we got that little rally that you guys saw, right? The little bear market rally. What was the low before the bear market rally? It was 11.5 on the NASDAQ. Remember that level, because if I go to the 5-minute chart, you're going to see what is going on. Right at 11.5. Right there, guys. It's not, it's not magic. You can see we tried to push into it yesterday. Boom. Huge rejection. We tried to push into it this morning in the futures in the pre-market. Boom. Big rejection. So, very easy, very structured. If you are not above 11.5, there is absolutely no reason to be even thinking about buying calls. Why would you buy calls before you're over 11.5? So it keeps you very structured today, guys. If you are trading below 11.5 on the NASDAQ, don't even think about looking at the left side of your options chain. There is absolutely no reason. Yeah, okay, maybe you miss out on like 100 points here. Who cares, right? Protect yourself. There is no reason to be looking at upside moves until you see something very strong over 11.5. So, very easy, right? That is my game plan into today. If I don't see the NASDAQ over 11.5, I am looking for rejections. And I am looking to play downside. So, 11.5, clear level. You need to get above that to get any type of upside. If we push into it again and we reject, this is your best entry point on downside today, right here. If you push into 11.5 again and you reject, if you start to see rejection start to come in, if you see weakness, if you start to see downside, we start to fail, maybe we do something like we did yesterday. Look at this yesterday, right? This was a key yesterday. We talked about this in the chat. You guys see this right here? See how we pushed into 11.5, sort of pushed into the high a day, rejected. Now this right here, this was a beautiful short opportunity. Why? Well, first of all, it's giving you a lower high. Second of all, it is the perfect retest of 11.5, and you can see that was a great short opportunity. So today, if we see something similar, if we see a push into 11.5, right around here, and we maybe see a lower high build, there's your opportunity, right? So keep an eye on that. That's definitely a major watch today for me. So maybe we get a pre-market push or an early morning push, sort of like what we saw yesterday. We got that early morning bull trap, and then we dumped. Let's get another early morning bull trap, maybe into 11.5, and then let's short into it. That's what I'll be looking for today. The only way that I see something of upside is if you do look something like this. Maybe if you close above 11.5 today, maybe if you do this or something, I don't know. Maybe if you see a move above 11.5, a consolidation period, and then maybe you can get towards 11.7. That's the only way I could feel any type of upside coming in, is if you see a really strong hold of 11.5 today. Obviously, FOMC tomorrow, so there's really no reason to even try to swing trade anything into a meeting like that. That is just foolish. But, yep, that's that. 11.5, that's your level today on the NASDAQ. Could you just trade sideways here until FOMC in this channel? Absolutely. You absolutely could. You could absolutely just see a sideways chop of 200 points today into FOMC. This is absolutely possible. All right? So that's another thing that you have to be aware of. You could absolutely just see the chop until tomorrow's FOMC. ES, hourly chart. What is the level on the hourly chart? 3,800. Right here, that's the May low. What happened yesterday? Right at 3,800. It really doesn't get much cleaner than this. It really doesn't get any cleaner than this. 3,800, 3,800. 3,800. Perfect triple top. What is it telling you? It's turning previous May support into a triple top resistance. There is nothing bullish about that. Nothing. There is nothing bullish about the fact that we are turning 3,800 support from late May into a resistance level all day yesterday into this morning. So, if you see a push into 38 and you see rejection, here is your short opportunity today. This is your best entry. Your entry is not seeing this happen, watching the market fall, and then asking yourself, maybe I'll enter puts at low of day. That is not a trade. This is what most people do. This is what 95% of traders do. This is why 95% of traders fail, because they trade what they are starting to see. They trade with what everyone else is thinking, right? They're looking at this. They say, oh, the ES just fell. What is this? The ES just fell 1.5 points. Now we're sitting at low a day. I'm going to try to trade the low a day break. No. What you're trading is the rejection at supply. Give yourself some risk reward. Give yourself some opportunity, right? Don't trade the low of daybreak. Trade up here so that you have a stop loss that is extremely tight and a potentially very large risk to reward. So, look for the bounce into maybe 3,800. Look for the rejection. That's your play. If it doesn't reject, then you know what? It doesn't reject, but that is the play. That's the opportunity. That's the supply zone that you should be watching for. So 3,800, that's what I'm watching today on ES. We'll see if it does break. If it just slips through low a day, guys, and it retests, then sure, I'll look for that too. Of course, I'll look for that as well, right? If we see the slip right through low a day, if we retest it, and then we turn it into resistance, then yeah, I'll probably go ahead and play that. But I'm not going to play the flush. I'm not going to try to get lucky and play the breakdown. It's not my kind of trade. So, ES, 3,800 to 3,750. You got a 50-point range here. We could absolutely trade sideways into FOMC, or you wait for the break of either side. I might start to sort of scale out looking at the YM and Russell guys, honestly, because I really think it's just worth looking at the NASDAQ and ES personally. But yeah, the NASDAQ or the Dow is just sort of trying to hold this 30,600 level. 30,600. It looks like the Dow is trying to hold on to this May low. I'm really not very interested in this. And the Russell, you can see, actually this is very interesting on the Russell. Right when you thought small caps were going to try to sort of take over here, look at what this is doing. You guys see these previous lows we talked about, 1740, little triple bottom here. Watch, look at this. the same as the ES and the NASDAQ. What is it doing? 1740. Resistance, resistance, resistance. What was that level previously? That was previously, let me zoom out. That was previously a very strong triple bottom here. Triple bottom into a triple top. Nothing bullish about it. All right, that's the futures. 11.5 on the NASDAQ, 3,800 on the ES. Major levels to watch today. Those are the levels that you should have on your chart. Those are important levels to watch. Maybe you play shorts off of it, or if we hold above it by close today, maybe there's a little bit of sympathy to the upside. But my opinion right now, looking at this market, is I would look for rejections at those levels. Okay? Now we can go over Tesla. AMC short squeeze. Good luck, man. Good luck. I wish you the best. People that are still trading AMC are just stuck in 2020. So, Tesla. Watching 645, 645, 644, this whole little range right here, this is going to be my important level today. So I'm going to be watching this level here. This is the triple bottom from yesterday. We got a bottom here. We got a bottom here. We got a bottom in the future or or after hours futures market, right? And you can see we've gapped up and we're possibly pulling back to that gap up. So do we get a pullback to 645, right? Do we get a break? Do we get a retest? And do we turn it into resistance? Do we turn yesterday's lows into resistance? That is what I'm looking for today. If I see this, I'm absolutely taking a trade. If I see a break of 644, 645, if I see it come back into it, if I start to see it reject, I am taking a trade there. I don't care if I lose on it, I'm taking the trade, because I know that that is a good trade setup. So, triple bottom low day yesterday. I'm looking for that break. If Tesla just bounces off that level again, I probably won't have much interest in it today. So that is probably going to be my main watch today, is the break and retest of 645. We'll see what happens. Amazon. So Amazon is holding really strong onto this 101 area. We'll see what happens, but let me go ahead and zoom out for you here. And I'm going to show you this level. I'm going to show you again how important this is. So here's your weekly chart. And here's that 101 level. So resistance, resistance, resistance. That's right at 101 to 100. A little bit of a range, about $1 range, right in that 101 to 100 range. Now, if I go to the 5-minute, you can see right here. You tried to move down into it, and you got starting to get bought up in that 102, 101 area, right? So today, to me, I am going to be very cautious trading Amazon. I probably will leave it alone because I don't quite know if the market is going to have enough strength to get down below that huge, huge level. I mean, this isn't a joke of a level down here, guys, right? Because you can see this is a multi-year level. 2018, 2019, 2020, right? This is a 3-year resistance level. So do I think I can just trade right under it? I don't think so, right? I'm not going to trade puts here thinking that it's just going to slip right through this level. I think that's a little bit difficult. Obviously, it can, but, to be careful, to protect myself, I'm going to make sure I understand that this is a really big demand zone, and I'm not going to try to just trade puts right through it. If I start to see it break down, if I start to see it lose 100, and it starts to really get aggressive, guys, this might be one of the better shorts if we give up that level. But I need to see it first, right? I'm going to wait for the confirmation. I'm going to wait till I start to see it break down. But this is definitely a level I wanted to point out. I want to make sure that everyone here is watching this level because this is huge. This is a 3-year resistance level from 2018, 2019, 2020. So that is very important. I would absolutely be watching that. Okay. Costco. Very interesting chart on Costco, and I took a little play on this. If you're in the chat, you know that. It's very small. It's not going to make me much money. It's not going to lose me much money. But I'm doing it because I like the setup, and I wanted to put some risk on the table. Here's why. You guys can see previous support, previous support, previous support, previous support, right? Right in this 460 to 455 area, right? It's a little bit of a range, right? It's not perfect. It's a little bit like it's this 457 to maybe 460, $3 range. That's sort of what I'm watching. You guys can see this was an hourly chart support. This is the 30-minute, but it's 30-minute hourly chart support, very clear, right? You can see how many times it bounced off of it. Now, what did Costco do yesterday? What did Costco do yesterday? You can clearly see it, right? It's not very hard to see. Previous support, previous support, previous support. Where did Costco reject yesterday? 458, 457. So I'm in on a short. I'm in on a put, looking for the downside. Very easy. I stop out if it pops back over this level, yesterday's high, and I look for the downside. Why am I doing that? Well, because if I look at this chart and I see how quickly Costco came up here, and I see that it broke a previous support, I see that it turned into resistance, then I believe that it can try to move back to the downside. Right? So I am playing off this. I'm playing off this level. I'm playing off this previous support at 457, 460, and I'm looking to see if I can slide this to the downside. So we'll see what happens. That's Costco. I wanted to point it out to you guys. I like that opportunity. Okay, we got PPI numbers. Right now, is the market reacting positively? Let's see. Not really. A little bit of a pop. Nothing crazy. Let's see if I can get the numbers for you guys. PPI numbers. Okay, let's put this away. All right, let's look. What did Walter get for us here? Producer price index, 0.8. So it comes in as expected. Food energy, food energy, 0.5. So it actually came in a little lower for food energy. Okay. So I'm pretty sure that consensus was increased after CPI numbers. So I think they played with the numbers there. I'm going to assume that the consensus was pushed higher after CPI. So it looks like you're just all right, you're gone, buddy. This stream sucks. Why are you here? Peace. So yeah, producer price index 0.8 versus 0.8. Looks like it's in line. So yeah, let's see what happens. It looks like maybe a little bit of a reaction, but nothing crazy, guys. Right now it's about 20 points. FedEx increases quarterly dividend more than 50%. That's interesting. That's bullish for FedEx. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, Anthony, the key here is just watching for the market reaction, right? I really could care less what this number shows. All I care about is what the market does. So if the market wants to go up off it, sure. If it wants to go down off it, sure, right? I really could care less what the number is. Yeah. Let's just watch the reaction. Let's look at some price target changes real quick. Why not? What do we got? Anything important here? Bank of America, price target cut. Adobe, price target cut. What else we got? We got some downgrades. Any important downgrades here? Coin downgrade. Netflix downgrade. Coin Netflix downgrades. Upgrades. Nothing. Nothing of importance. All right, let's continue. Stream sucks. People are so idiotic, man. All right, let's continue. Amazon, Costco, Apple. Apple. Honestly, you should care people's lives depend on data. Yeah, well, all I care about is what the market does. I'll make money on where the market goes. I'm not gonna try to guess what the numbers mean. I care about what the numbers mean. I care about what they're doing. That's why I look at them. But most importantly, what I care about is how the market reacts. I don't try to fight the market. So wherever the market wants to go, based off numbers, I will trade it. I'm not going to try to fight and disagree with why a market is moving. There's no reason to try to disagree with why the market is moving a certain direction. It's like like you're trying to fight against something that you can't beat. It's just not worth it. So, Apple, big level here. Right? Let me go to the hourly. Let me show you guys this level here. So you guys can see right here, right? Apple had a low of this 132.50 right here. 132.50, 132.50. You guys can see right there. So this 132.50 is the low of May, the May low that we've looked at in a bunch of stocks. So if we go to the 5-minute chart, look at what Apple has done. It has basically flatlined at this level. I mean, it legitimately has flatlined at 132.50. So I think this is a very crucial little seesaw for the market. I think this is almost like the heartbeat of the market. I think if you start to give up this level, I think the Nasdaq is going to start to get very weak. If the Apple is able to hold above this level, I think the market can potentially hold on. This right here, in my opinion, is a very important stock for the market right now. 132.50 on Apple, very big level, very big stock, very big weighting on a lot of ETFs, a lot of weightings on a lot of indices. So Apple is very interesting here, and you can see the flat line that is starting to occur at 132.50. So to me, I'm not so much looking to trade Apple here. I'm just interested to see what it does. I'm just interested to see what it does here at 132.50. So keep an eye on that today, guys. Keep an eye on 132.50. Keep an eye on sort of how this sets up. I think this is going to be important for the day. So keep an eye on that 132.50. Roku. Thanks, Mr. TNT. All right, so Roku. Look at the hourly chart here. Is FedEx going crazy? Yeah, I see people talking about it in the chat. Jeez, man. Wow, that's impressive. All right, where are we at? Let's see. FedEx. I mean, let's zoom out for a second. It is good to see, but just zoom out for a second. All right. You got a lot of levels here, but it is good. I mean, keep an eye on FedEx for sure because of that quarterly dividend. But yeah, definitely interesting. All right, Roku. What am I looking at on Roku? Here's what I'm looking at, guys. You can see here that we had a triple bottom right here on Roku, right? Bottom here, and bottom here. What was the low of that bottom? That was $75 a share. So 75 was the low of that bottom. Now, if I go to the 5-minute chart, here's what I want to show you. This morning, maybe it doesn't work because of this a little bit of an upside in the market right now, but this morning and yesterday, you started to see 75 start to turn into resistance. So if I see today Roku turn 75 into resistance, I definitely want to watch for the downside, right? You guys can see right here, if previous support at 75 turns into a resistance, if we do a break, a retest, and a downside move of 75, I want to be trading that. So today, I'll be watching 75 on Roku to reject. I'll be watching for this previous triple bottom to turn into resistance. I'll be looking for a previous triple bottom support to turn into resistance. That is what I'd be watching. That, I think, is a great opportunity. You just need to see it stay below 75. That is the key. That is the key. Okay? NVIDIA. 155. Huge level. Huge level on NVIDIA here. I know I like to exaggerate some things, but this is actually a pretty big level. Here's 155 on NVIDIA. Here's the 4-hour chart. You guys can see very clearly here. Look at what it's done every time it's come down into this area. It has had a bounce. Does it bounce this time? You will need to see a strong NASDAQ, right? NASDAQ will need to be pushing higher for this to hold this 155. If the NASDAQ has some sympathy to the upside today, this could absolutely be a play. This would probably be one of my only long plays that I'd look for because I know that there is support down here. I know that I have some demand below me. That is only if the NASDAQ does something crazy. It needs to do something legitimately crazy for me to even think about going long. But this is interesting, right? Support, possible support again. You guys can see it right here. We tried to hold on. We are trying to hold on to this 155 demand zone. Does NVIDIA have any kind of juice here to the upside? I'm not going to be one to trust it early on, right? I'm not going to just be buying calls. There's absolutely no way. But, if I start to see it break some of these levels, if I start to see the NASDAQ get on a pretty legitimate run, something that really doesn't make much sense, but of course the market trades up, I'll look for upside. I don't know if it's actually going to happen, but if you see some upside today, just know that NVIDIA is sitting at some strong demand, and it probably would be one to have some sympathy with an upside move. I'm not saying the market's going to go up today, guys, by any means. What I'm saying is that if it does happen, if we do see that, this would be a potential play, in my opinion, just because of the fact that you are sitting at a huge demand zone on the 4-hour chart at 155. Now, on the flip side, right, because we got to look at things both ways. On the flip side, if the market dies today, if the market just does not like today and it goes down another 2-3%, this is a trade, right? The break of a 4-hour demand, the retest, turning 155 into resistance, the rejection starting to come in, that's a trade right there. So I will be watching both sides of this. As you guys know, when I point out levels on the live stream, it's not so much that it's a bullish or bearish level. It's just an important level, a level that you could trade off of. 155 on NVIDIA is a level that you can trade off of to both directions. You're either going to see a support hold here today, or you're going to see a breakdown and a rejection. Either way, it's an important level, and it should be on your charts. Okay. Final one for me, guys, is XLE. And this is the energy sector. And what are we finally seeing on the XLE? We're finally getting a pullback. And what have I sort of talked about over the last few days, maybe the last few weeks, is that wait for some kind of pullback to the 20 or 50 SMA. This was very deviated over the moving averages, and almost always, as you guys can see here, I wasn't lying about this, almost 100% of the time, a stock that is that deviated from a 20 or 50 SMA will pull back. You have to remind yourself not to chase. Do not chase when something is so deviated over the 20 or 50. You can see, just looking at the past of this chart, deviated over the 20, pullback, deviated over the 20, pullback, deviated over the 20, pullback, deviated over the 20. This time we came back to the 50. We got deviated again. We came back to the 50. We got deviated again, and we have pulling back to the 20 and 50 SMA. So, what has the pullback done in the past? There has been opportunity off the back of XLE pullbacks. So, what am I looking for in XLE? Well, I'm going to start to see, where does this thing want to hold up? Is it the 50? Is it around 81? Is it around 85 where it's at now? I'm saying that this is starting to become an opportunity. If you look at this chart, if you think energy continues, which I think it does, then we need to see where our opportunity is here. However, here's what I'll say. This is a hell of a better buying opportunity than chasing it at the highs. So if you liked energy at 93, you better like energy at 84. If you don't like it anymore, then you're just totally backwards. Your trading is totally backwards. If you liked energy here for upside, and now you see it down and you don't like it for upside, your mentality is incorrect. But you should be liking it more down here. Obviously, you should wait for confirmation. You don't just buy it because it's down. Wait for some kind of green candle to start to build. Look for something that has happened in the past like this. Look for some green days to start to build, and then try to take your trade. Watch that XLE pullback. This could be an opportunity. I would watch it. This could take a few weeks, but it's definitely something that's starting to build. So keep an eye on that. All right. If you guys could just take 1 second out of your day and press the like button, that would be highly appreciated. If you guys come here on a daily basis and you guys enjoy the streams, do your job by pressing the like button, that would be fantastic. All right. Thank you guys for all the support, as always. Let me pull up the live stream tickers, and we can go over some stuff for you guys. What if energy goes down from here? Well, then it goes down. I don't know what else to tell you. All right. Let's go over your guys' charts. So the first one we got here is CF. CF. Under support. Yeah, you might, yeah. Is that that's the 100 SMA too. Yeah, you got a little bit of a break of this support here around 90, and you retested it. Look at all these rejections at 90. Look at how you turned 90 into resistance here. So yeah, I think you're spot on. I think you're looking at the right things. I think you could probably see this continue. Definitely. I think whoever put this, I would say that's probably not a bad trading opportunity. Have a stop above that 90, maybe that 90.15 level, and look to see if that previous support turns into resistance. I like that. That's definitely a watch. Adobe. It has earnings, guys. Stop putting stocks that have earnings. I have no idea. I don't look at stocks that have earnings. 318. I don't pretend like I know what earnings is going to do. That's just asinine. All right, hourly chart on Shop. This is definitely a watch for me today. Here's why. Previous support, double bottom support, turning into potential resistance here at 318. So if Shopify cannot break 318 today, and it creates this little bear flag, which it's starting to do already, I am definitely watching this. So you guys can see, we're starting to create a bear flag into 318. You guys can see right here, previous support, turning into potential resistance. I would be watching this. See if Shop can stay under 318, 319. I'm not mean to my subs, Game Boy Tommy. I'm honest. I'm honest. If you want me to, sugarcoat trading for everyone, then sure, you're going to lose all your money. I don't sugarcoat trading. Trading is not sugarcoating, and everyone get on board the AMC train because we're all going to go to the moon, right? That's not trading, right? I'm real. I'm a real trader. I'm not a TikTok superstar. So if you're going to trade before earnings, if you're going to ask, what my technical analysis before earnings, it's irrelevant, right? There's no technical analysis going on before earnings. It's macroeconomic. It will invalidate everything that you look at, and you have to wait for it to happen. If you trade Adobe before earnings, you're guessing. It's not mean. It's realistic. Shopify. Rejection 318, previous support into resistance. I would be looking for this to break down. Home Depot. Daily chart. Yeah, Home Depot's been dead, man. Home Depot's been dead. I mean, honestly, it's just been dead. So I would look for 280 on HD. See what happens here. Look what happens at 280. Maybe it holds, maybe it doesn't. Look to see. I mean, if the market has any strength, then maybe you try to hold this 380 for the time being. But if you break and retest 280, then you got your downside. So either way, you guys know what I talk about, like key levels. This is a key level on HD at 280. I would just wait to see the reaction off of it. It's hard to say what it's going to do now. It's going to be sort of dependent on the market. But yeah, it's done nothing, right? I mean, it's done literally nothing for 3 months now. Almost 3-4 months now. Home Depot's been doing absolutely nothing. It's crazy. Google. So we talked about this Google level, guys. You know that. You guys know that. We've talked about this 2350 level. Very nice rejection off of it. You guys can see just crazy downside move. Yeah, Home Depot will come back around. I agree, Adam. I agree. I'm a long-term shareholder, but obviously for trading, it's not really the best of times. Google, you guys can see this low, right? This is the May low, right around here, May 23rd, May 24th. If you think things are going to come back to May lows, which the market is at May lows, so if you think the stock should come down to where the market is, if you think stocks should catch up to indices, then this should probably be trading at 2085. So if you think that the market will the stocks will catch up to where indices are in time relation, then I would say that you could see Google at 2085, right? At these May lows. You got a little bit of a gap, so you're sort of sitting on an island of price action. You can see right here, you're basically on the price action island right here. So gap to the upside, possible downside. It's tough right now. Google basically didn't do anything yesterday, which makes it even more interesting. So yeah, I mean, I would probably just watch your key levels, maybe watch low a day, watch high a day, see what side of this little island it wants to go out of, right? You're sitting in an island right now. Which side of the island does it want to break? Watch 2035 to the downside, 2180 to the upside, and maybe try to trade the retest on either side. Dow, DOW, wow, that thing getting crushed. What a breakdown. This stock is very strange on price action side of things. But I mean, there's nothing quite bullish about this break, huh? So I'd probably look for it back to 56. That would be my honest opinion. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, 56. That's where I'd look for Dow to come down to. DOW. Not Dow, not the index, not the indice, the ticker, DOW. 56. Adobe is another earning. We're not looking at earnings. QQQ, we already looked at. D-Dog. Datadog. Yeah, this is, it's so, I mean, we've talked about this every live stream, guys. It's going down to 82, most likely, and the trade is likely over. I mean, maybe you can get a little bit more down to 82, but the good trade was back here at 118 rejection. Maybe you watch it down to 82. Shot. You guys put the same tickers in here. Look. Adobe. Google. Shot. We went over Amazon already. SPX is the ES. Just look at my ES chart. All right, guys. That's it. Hope you have a fantastic day. Hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. If you did, press the like button. That would be awesome. Help me grow the channel. If I get anyone upset here in the live stream, I hope you understand that I am trying to come from a truthful and honest point of view. I am truly, I don't know what the word is. I'm truly inspired by helping people try to get trading. It's something that I really do enjoy because I've made a lot of mistakes in the past, guys, right? I was a beginner trader at one time too, and I've made tons of mistakes. And I see, now it's very interesting because from where I was to where I am now, I see the same mentality that I once had in almost everyone that is starting to trade, right? So it's not like people are off their game. It's everyone sort of comes up into trading with the same mistakes. It's very identical. And when I see it, I like to try to nip it. I try to nip it in the butt, and I try to stop people from thinking that way. So if I come across that way, it's because I've been there, and I'm trying to make you not make the same mistakes. So if you're trading before earnings, stop doing it. If you're trading meme stocks, stop doing it. If you're trying to find the next big thing, stop doing it. Find a strategy that you can repeat on a daily basis and do it over and over and over again. Hope you guys have a fantastic day. I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you guys so much for all the support. Press the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you want to trade live with me every day, Discord chat down below. Thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you later. Peace out.